Hey, I'm back. I'm really tired. Understandably so, I guess. Haven't been sleeping in my apartment. I've been up in that attic space of my building. Not sure how long I can keep this up for. I guess it's my nerves. What is the ultimate deciding factor as to when I'll finally be ready to actually sleep in my place, in my bed, knowing that that thing is behind me. So strange. The birds are out. It's spring. Everything is sprouting again. Construction is going on, obviously. Everything is waking up from winter. And the world just keeps spinning despite this bizarre thing having occurred. It's not like the world can stop forever though, right? It still kind of has though. The nights are silent. Even the early evenings are silent. People seem to understand that during the day, that's the time when you get everything done before you lock yourself in. I get it. But how long is this sustainable for? You know? Before it just becomes normalized, like everything else. The sirens are less constant during the day. But I guess there's just the normal ailments and accidents and deaths that still have to be tended to, right? During the day and night, on top of everything else that's happening right now. Spring is here. Summer is coming. The days are going to get longer and longer. There's going to be more and more daylight. And then what happens to these creatures? I still would love to know where they go when it's bright out. If they go anywhere. If they are interdimensional beings, then maybe they just go to their other dimension and come back here when it's dark. It's all speculation, of course. People will be out later and later as well as the days get longer and it stays brighter out. I guess that happened with the pandemic too. You just get comfortable, familiar, and then you just kind of forget. You forget that anything happened. You forget that things are still happening. At night when it does get dark, you just forget and you live for the next day, the next long sunny day, or you can pretend like nothing is happening. You can pretend that these massive raids and hunts aren't happening in the dead of night. But I heard on the news that in order to encourage a sense of normalcy in the spring and in the summer, and I guess it'll carry on through the winter and however long this lasts, they're going to install floodlights, like all around the city. I guess they'll probably do it all around the country. I have a feeling that it's just going to happen with all of the countries in order to cope with this situation. I guess it's going to be most dangerous operating in the winter time when it's so dark for so long and people have to be out in that darkness working. And the floodlights are kind of an interesting idea. That tells me that the government knows it's not even necessarily just daylight that freaks these things out or makes these things go away. It's also just really bright light. They just avoid it for some reason. So even with the floodlights, there's still going to be a curfew in place like there is right now. I guess it's just going to be a later curfew. It can be later in the summertime. And then they'll just go back to patrolling the streets and arresting people, dragging them back home. People are going to get drunk though. It's going to be a hot summer night. Everyone's going to want to be at the beach. And then what? People will stumble home, take the alley as a shortcut, forget, because everything feels normal again. And then what? I think people will just start going missing. They already have been. Although it's law enforcement that's taking them away, but still, more and more people I think are gonna go missing. The only way that I'd go missing is if the cops found out that I'm hiding one, then they'll come and grab it and they'll grab me, and no one will ever hear from me again. So far, so good though. None of my neighbors know. I guess if you've got floodlights on all of the main streets and people just avoid the side streets, then most of us will be able to just kind of get back to a normal life, right? Partying, going to late birthday parties, hanging out with friends, late dinners, all that stuff will be possible again once the lights are in place. It still doesn't explain anything though. People want answers. But the way that the government has acted and the way that they've rolled in the military and law enforcement, the way that people have formed these maniacal groups and are just going around and trying to find these things to slaughter them. There's no normal anymore. I think that fear that we've all had to endure through these last few months, since it started, I think it's stained us. I don't see how anyone could really authentically feel comfortable ever again. I'm still working on getting some more red lights and another little camera so I can better capture the creature. I feel like I'd probably be more upset and disturbed and stressed out if I actually wasn't so fatigued. I'm so tired. Guess everyone is. I don't know if I have a death wish. I was trying to decide whether or not I should talk about this. There isn't really much to talk about actually, but because I haven't been sleeping, I guess I've been feeling a little reckless. And seeing as I'm now officially an insomniac, I figured this morning I would just go exercise. Not a messed up thing. Lots of people do it. It's not weird. But I guess in this circumstance it kind of is weird because I hadn't slept the whole night. was almost kind of a little delirious, and it was just coming up to 5 a.m. Still like another hour and a half or two before the sun came up, and I decided to go out and exercise in the dark. I know, it's stupid. But you know, it was actually something that I loved to do back in the day. I loved to exercise really, really early in the morning at 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock. Ironically, I'm not a morning person, and I'm still not a morning person. I'm basically on autopilot when I decide to go out and exercise when it's dark out. I just put all of my clothes on, put a weapon in my pocket, and then I head out. I don't have any thoughts in my mind. I don't speak until hours later, usually. I don't want to hear the sound of my voice. I don't want to hear the sound of anyone else's voices. And most of all, I just don't want to see anybody. I don't want to see any human faces when I'm out at that hour. So, it's kind of blissful. So I went out this morning at 5 a.m., weapon in my pocket, and I basically just moved through the city as fast as I could. I didn't stop, I didn't take any alleys. I stuck to the main streets. I didn't look in any dark corners. I just did my loop, my circuit around the city. And then I got back home. The sun still hadn't risen. And it felt good. It was reckless, I know, and I passed like too many ambulances to count. But it was worth it. Might do it again tomorrow morning, maybe every day of the week. Maybe that'll actually knock me out so I can actually sleep at night. Something else. There have been a lot of dead animals being found around town. I haven't really seen them, but I've seen city maintenance people outside early in the morning, at dawn, as it starts to get light out. They're out there with big black bags, tongs, gloves, masks, picking up animals. I haven't been able to find one to take a look at it up close to see what they're dying from. They're trying to clean up the mess before anyone can see and panic. I think we're kind of all in that state though. It's like low-level anxiety. And we're trying to find things. I think we're all trying to find things to confirm whatever belief we have revolving around what we think is going on, which is all just whatever we've imagined up, because we're still not being told anything. There haven't been any alerts issued yet by the city, over the internet, on the news, explaining what's happening with the animals. It's mostly just rats, some feral cats, some squirrels, a decent number of pigeons, a couple of geese. We do have coyotes around here, but coyotes don't kill like that. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lake that's kind of far away that I like to visit every now and then. Maybe I'll go there as well and see if there are any dead fish. There are like wild rabbits and stuff too. The city people, city maintenance people, it's not like they're wearing hazmat suits. They are wearing masks though, and they've got gloves on, and they've got those bags and the tongs and stuff. So it's not like they're just picking up roadkill. I think that maybe they know that these creatures are dying from something very specific, but maybe it's not something that could jump species to humans or something. You know what I mean? I'll just keep searching and keep seeing what else I can find. Not a super long video for today, but I guess I had one more thought that I felt like sharing. I think I should go back into the swamp. Not to where I found mine, but deeper. A little bit deeper into the forest to see if I can find, I don't know, pieces of the dead ones, because I know that raids are happening every day at dusk. And I know that they're finding them. And I guess they're probably killing them, and there's gotta be body parts left over, right? Thought I could just go into the forest in the daytime, bring a couple of plastic bags, garbage bags, the heavy-duty ones, and see if I can find anything to collect and take home. I know it's disgusting. The thought is disgusting. I know. But I don't really have anything to go off of, which is ironic because I literally have one in my home every night, but I'm still just too freaked out to actually interact with it because I don't know if they're dangerous or what could set it off. I don't want to set it off by accident and get myself killed. So, body parts. Finding the dregs of whatever's left over of these things so I can take them home during the daytime, maybe do a dissection or something. Just to get a better understanding of what I'm dealing with. The size, the skin. If they actually are more human or more animal, and what the animal might be. I just have to see for myself. Everybody wants to see for themselves. So, that's the plan. I'm gonna go into the forest. I think that'll be the next video. Not at dusk, not at night. I'm not that eager. I don't have that kind of a death wish. I'll go during the day, broad daylight. Bring a plastic bag. Gloves, I guess, so I don't have to touch whatever it is I find if I find anything. And then we'll move on from there. I'll report back. Oh yeah, there was another thing that I wanted to mention. I don't know what the situation is with these animals that are being found, you know, just city animals, birds, forest animals, squirrels that are dying. I don't know exactly if it's these things that are killing them or if it's just... I personally haven't seen any of these animals up close that are dead. I just see the maintenance people of the city collecting them and throwing them in black bags. So that's something else I can go out and look for as well. But as you can see, I have an aquarium and I'm not staying in my place at night. This thing is in here, in my bedroom, and if they're hunting for food, I'd imagine it would have ripped all the fish out and eaten them by now. And it hasn't. As far as I can tell, nothing has been disturbed in my aquarium. All the fish are healthy. They're all acting normal, curious, and as you can tell, very hungry. So, I don't know. This thing I've got behind my bed doesn't like seafood. If that's the case, lucky for you guys, hey? That's all for now. Thanks for listening. And if you have any news about what's happening in your neck of the woods, how things are going, let me know. Let me know. Are they telling you anything?